All right, time to get this party started. Before we begin, I just want to let the folks that are in the media know that after the program is over with, if you guys will go ahead and meet down in that area near the Ragin Cajuns sign, Dr. Maggard and Coach White will be there to answer all of the questions that you may have. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a special day today because today we are going to introduce to you the man that has been selected as the 15th head coach of this storied basketball program and will be the new basketball leader for the University of Louisiana. Now, I've talked to a few of you since I've been here, and many of you have talked about how the landscape of college basketball has changed, and it's very true. Guess what hasn't changed? The expectations for this program will never change. We want to compete for a championship every year, and we believe that we have found the man that's going to help us do that. The other thing that people have said about the change of the landscape is we're such underdogs, and my response is, so what else is new? When have we not been underdogs? And yet, with 11 NCAA appearances, I would think that we've done okay. So we're going to start our program today. Once again, afterwards for the media, we'll meet over there. To begin our program and to give the official introduction for the university, the president of the University of Louisiana, Dr. Joe Savvo.
Thank you, Jay. That was one of your briefest, if not most effective introductions. I appreciate that very much. Well, good morning to everyone. Afternoon to everyone. I'm so pleased to see this huge crowd for this great occasion. Coach White asked me confidentially, just kind of leaning, he says, this is the biggest crowd you've ever had for one of these things. I said, I'm not sure if it's the biggest, but they're basketball people, so they're a lot thinner, and so we got more of them packed in here. Not like baseball and football. It was just as full, but about half as many people. They're a lot wider. But you know, as Jay mentioned, you know, we have a long and proud tradition here at the university in basketball. We have a lot of dedicated fans and people who follow this program for generations. And it was very important that we bring to you someone who has the real possibility and likelihood of not only continuing that success, but making it even greater and bringing to this program, to this university, the kind of basketball that we've grown accustomed to and that we're used to. So I'm going to be brief because we got a lot of people to say a lot of real good things. I'm also pleased to see this wonderful family here. Y'all cover the whole first two rows. I think we just doubled our average attendance if they come to the game. That's good. So welcome you all, your family to our family. We're very pleased to have all of you here. And with all of that, I want you to enjoy your afternoon. Welcome, Coach. Go Cajuns.
Next, I'd like to call on a man who's had an opportunity to stand up a couple of times before, and we've announced these. Executive Committee member of the Ragin Cajun Athletic Foundation Board of Directors, Mr. Brian Hanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I'd be remiss in my role as chairman of the foundation for the university if I didn't mention to Coach that we are an R1 research institution, and which is top 100 in the country. So with that asset at hand, I had our vice president of research, complete with a research folder, do a little background work here. So we're doing that combined with Kevin Foote's article. So I am still old school and have a paper and cut it out. So how exciting. Welcome. So glad you're here. What a great choice. Haven't heard, I mean, the excitement around town is unbelievable. The energy in this room is unbelievable. And back to Kevin's deal. So, you know, some things are meant to be. So you played here in 1999, Class 5A state championship game for St. Augustine Purple Knights against South Lafourche. You won 53-44, scored 14 points, and you made the last shot of the game. So to set expectations, your record that year was 25-3. Just no pressure. So I wanted to look at a few key facts based upon this, and did some research. So Kevin, in his article, attendance for the game, your state championship game, that weekend was 15,319 people. The qualifier I don't know is whether that was if you played 2 games here or 1 game. Two, okay. Because I was about to give Kevin a hard time with the next set of statistics, because when I looked further on, Cajun Dome was built in 1985, and we have a seating capacity of 12,362. So if you put 15,319, I was wondering where you got the extra 3,000, and then we'll take them, okay? Along those same lines, I want to look from a historical standpoint, because what we all want is a return to glory, right? We've all been here. We all remember us older folks, even back to Blackham Coliseum and McNaspy in football. But so I look back to provide a little historical perspective, and bear with me for a minute. So the largest crowd, the seating capacity, as I said, was 12,362. The largest crowd at UL ever was on December 16, 1992, against Loyola Marymount. 11,479 people were in the Cajun Dome. Then I looked at the top 10 attendance over the time at the Cajun Dome. 9 were in the 1990s, and one was in February, number 9 was February 26, 2003 against Western Kentucky, and that was 9,121. So all of the attendance in the top 10 were above 9,000, to give you an idea. So why all the figures? Sometimes things are meant to be. Good Lord puts people in places. Sometimes we don't know where they're going to be. So I am fully convinced that you being here in 1999 was no coincidence why you're here today. And you brought your family. You weren't quite ready. You had to bring these good people with you over here. So we appreciate that. Earlier, when Coach Habits was introduced, and I spoke of this group in Cajun Nation, we fight the natural tendencies with regard to NIL about how we are bringing up and embracing the NIL deal. And I'll bring this up again because it's a recurring theme. We're doing better and we're making progress, but many of us have seen over the past weekend and days the current physical struggles that UNO has and is facing not only athletics, but as an institution. Back to the reference of the top 10 attendance. In the 1990s, UNO were 3 of those top 10 attendances. And look where their athletic program is, look where their institution is now. So I use that as a reference point of how important it is that we as a community, as Cajun Nation, get behind you and all of our athletics here. We are truly at the proverbial crossroads as a university, not only for athletics, but institutionally. So we need to do this. So I'm making one more plea. Embrace the NIL. We need it. Be more forgiving. And last time I made a promise without checking with my wife, I'll make another one today. So we'll contribute a little bit more, and we'll do good. And I'm asking each of you to do the same thing. We are extremely excited to have you here, you and your family. You've already proven you're a sharp dresser, so hey, you're here already. Good with that. So this group will not let you down, Coach. Welcome, and welcome to your family.
Brian, I want you to know I was at that game in 1999 when St. Aug played South Lafourche, and I'll tell you where the others were. They were in the Vermilion Room and the Mardi Gras Ballroom watching it on closed circuit because there was not a seat to be had in the Cajun Dome arena that night. No pressure, Coach. We know it's going to happen again. If there's one thing I know about our Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics, it's when he wants his guy, he gets him. And once again, Dr. Maggard has found the person that he, I think, has identified pretty much from the beginning as the person that was going to lead this basketball program. Now, if you take a look at the hiring history for Dr. Maggard, you'll see that he's done a pretty good job. But the interesting thing is the sport hasn't mattered. The criteria has always been the same. And so now to introduce the 15th coach of Ragin Cajun basketball history, Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Brian Maggard.
Well, thank you, Jay. And good afternoon, everyone, and happy St. Patrick's Day, all right? I would tell you that the luck of the Irish is certainly with Cajun Nation today. It's an exciting day for the University of Louisiana as we begin a new era for Ragin' Cajuns men's basketball. Now, to say there was a tremendous amount of interest in this head coach position would be an understatement. And although not surprised, this process reinforced just how strong the Louisiana brand is. Now, before I introduce our head coach, there are a number of people I want to publicly thank for their assistance with this search process. As always, President Savvo, his continued support, trust, and leadership throughout the process was very helpful and greatly appreciated. So thank you, Dr. Savvo. Vice President for Finance and Administration, Mr. Jerry Luc LeBlanc, for his support to help ensure that we ended up where we did. He's the money guy on campus, so he helped us out a lot. Associate Vice President Paul Thomas and the UL Office of Human Resources for their assistance during this transition. Now, when these things happen, they typically happen fast. And I can't thank Mr. Thomas and his team enough for all that they've done and will do to assist with getting our staff in place. My team that helped with this search: Deputy Athletics Director Dr. Jessica Leger and Deputy Athletics Director Trey Frazier. I dragged them all over the state of Louisiana and over into Texas, keeping them out to the wee hours of the morning at times. Their insight was invaluable. Both are extremely good at reading people and determining fit. So thank you, Jessica and Trey. Associate Athletics Director Heather Rogers, Assistant Athletics Director Haley Blitch, Tom Perpetua, our Associate Director of Athletics Communications, Matt Sullivan, Director of Athletics Communications, Amanda Henderson, my Executive Assistant, and Donor Relations Coordinator Olivia Vanderhoven. And speaking of Olivia, how about this setup? Thank you, Olivia, for all your work. These searches are absolutely consuming, and until you head one up, you can't imagine. So, as always, Carrie, thank you for your patience, your support, and lending your ear and insight whenever needed. And Coach, lucky for you, Carrie was a huge fan after meeting you. To our men's basketball staff, Casey Perrin, Neil Harden, Philip Schumpert, Chandler Jackson, Mike Murphy, Cole Wakefield, and BJ Duplantis, thank you for the exemplary job all of you did coaching, training, and taking care of our team while creating stability throughout the entire season. Your commitment this season never wavered. On behalf of the entire university and all of Cajun Nation, I thank you guys. Our graduate assistant and student managers, Gentlemen, we greatly appreciate everything you did this season serving as the team behind the team. Thank you, guys. And finally, Derek Zimmerman. Coach Z provided amazing coaching leadership as our interim head coach. His positive influence on the team was obvious from the beginning, as our guys played extremely hard, game in and game out, and never quit. Z, please know how greatly I appreciate you. Will you please join me in giving a round of applause for Coach Derek Zimmerman? And I would be remiss if I did not express my gratitude to Bob Marlin. During his 14 and a half years at the helm of our basketball program, Coach Marlin led the Ragin Cajuns to 2 NCAA tournaments and 1 NIT appearance. Over the span of his career at UL, he became the all-time leader in Sun Belt Conference game wins while compiling an overall record of 269 wins and 198 losses. Thank you, Coach Marlin, for your coaching leadership. Now, Jay alluded to this, but you'll hear me say this every time when introducing a head coach. The characteristics we look for include a commitment to the academic achievement of our student athletes, an ability to build positive relationships with our players, a proven winner at the highest level, a relentless recruiter, and a commitment and ability to develop players. Now, whenever we publicly announce a head coach, the number one question I get, and it never fails from people, is, how did this hire happen? Well, let me tell you how this hire happened. Quannas White was certainly a name I was familiar with in the coaching industry. When a program has a success, like the University of Houston has had the past several years, if you're in my chair, you definitely notice and you pay attention. And the fact that he was in our region of the country and from the great state of Louisiana, well, needless to say, he was extremely high on the radar. Now, if you want to go way back to say, I don't know, March 23rd, 2002 to be exact, my experience with Quannas White was not nearly as favorable then as it is today. As a point guard for the University of Oklahoma, Quannas, the student athlete, knocked off my then Missouri Tigers in the Elite Eight, leading Oklahoma to the Final Four for the first time since 1988. Coach, you remember the score of that game? Well, I do. It was 81-75. Forgive but never forget. Fast forward to this past December during the holiday break. One of the countless phone calls I received was from a gentleman named Mike Harrison of Harrison Sports Management. Now, Mike and I had been introduced previously by a mutual friend, so we had somewhat of a relationship. During our call, Mike wanted to learn more about our vacancy, what characteristics we were looking for in a head coach, etc. So, as any good agent would do, Mike proceeded to share names of his clients who were ready to be head coaches and who were particularly interested in our job. The first name he mentioned to me was Quannas White. And honestly, I don't think I heard any of the other names once I heard that one. I learned as much as I could on that call about Quannas and got his cell number. A day or two later, I texted him, introducing myself, and asked if he'd be open to jumping on a casual introductory call. Now, fortunately for all of us, he quickly replied with a yes, and the call was scheduled. We spoke for maybe an hour, and I soon realized this was someone I wanted to get in front of for a face-to-face. We set up a meeting, and a few days later, I drove to Houston for a casual sit-down. I believe we spent about 3 hours together, Coach, that evening. And by the time we ended, it was about 10 p.m. As we were leaving, Quannas asked if I was staying at the hotel where we had met. And I said, no, I'm driving back tonight. He immediately offered for me to follow him home and stay the night with he and his family. Now, I declined the offer, But I share that because that's the type of person Quannas White is. He's caring and he's giving. I believe I got home around 2 a.m., woke Carrie up, and told her we may have just found her coach. A couple weeks later, I drove back to Houston, this time with Carrie, to have dinner with Quannas and his beautiful wife, Leah. Leah, would you stand to be recognized, please? Now, Quannas, I can tell you right now, Leah sealed the deal for you. It wasn't your agent. It wasn't you. It was your amazing wife. Carrie and I drove back home that evening and were just simply wowed by Leah White. But, Coach, fear not. I trust Carrie's judgment more than anyone else. And she was absolutely impressed with Quannas the man and Quannas the husband. During that dinner, it was obvious that family was extremely important to Quannas and Leah. And speaking of family, it is my absolute honor to welcome and introduce to Cajun Nation 3 of their 4 children, Anaya, Asher, and Asa. If you're able, please stand. Stand up, guys. Yeah, stand up. Anaya has an excuse, and we can get to that later. Jordan, the oldest, who could not be with us today, is a 2-time graduate of Texas Tech University, most recently completing an MBA, and she'll be pursuing dental school. Anaya graduates from high school this May and will attend Mercer University on a basketball scholarship. So we got to get that knee fixed quickly. And we are so fortunate to have Quannas' parents with us today. Clarence Sr. and Colette White, his brothers, Clarence Jr. and Josh, and sister Tania and her husband Tony and son Tyron. Welcome to the White family. Now, Mom, Leah, Anaya, we wanted to present roses to each of you. Carrie, my wife, will do that. There you go. As well as some gifts for Leah and the children. And Dr. Leger will be doing that. On behalf of our Ragin Cajuns family, we welcome the entire White family to the University of Louisiana. Now, Anaya, the flowers and gifts are not a recruiting ploy to get you to attend UL. Now, getting back to our search process. We did have an official interview with Quannas, and he did nothing but impress. It became evident that he was the absolute best candidate for this job at this time. A quick glance at the social media responses to our announcement or the numerous quotes we've collected from industry coaches, administrators, and former players tells you that Quannas White builds positive and lasting relationships with those he comes into contact with. As a college basketball player, he led his team to back-to-back Final Four and Elite 8 appearances. His college coaching experience includes 8 conference titles, one of which came this past Saturday, so congratulations, Coach. And 7 consecutive NCAA tournaments, including 5 straight Sweet 16 appearances and 1 Final Four appearance. Let's get that to 2 this time around. He has helped the University of Houston basketball program achieve a top 25 ranking for 7 consecutive years with top 10 showings in each of the last 4 seasons and the current number 3 national ranking. He's a proven winner. Throughout his career, he has recruited, coached, and developed countless all-conference players and several NBA draft picks, including 3 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders. He has an ability to recruit and develop players. But what makes Quannas White special is Quannas White the person. He's a man of high integrity and strong faith, a devoted son, brother, husband, and dad. An absolute grinder, and a fierce competitor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with tremendous excitement that I introduce to you the next head basketball coach at the University of Louisiana, Mr. Quannas White. Now, as with every one of these events, it's my honor to present the head coach with his first Ragin Cajuns jersey. And this number he wore as a player, he's going to wear it at practices with his guys as a coach. Coach White. And it's my honor to present you with your very first head coach whistle. And it hadn't even been used. So, Coach, enjoy that.
Appreciate it.
We can put those right here, keep them here.
Be using
The
this
podi-
very soon.
That's right, the podium is yours.
What a moment this is. This is absolutely amazing. You know, as I was walking up to the stairs with my family and my daughter, who love with all my heart, all of my children, I love all of you. But my daughter, when she saw this amazing crowd that's here, she said, "Dad, look at all these people." I said, "Well, Anaya, you know, we could either continue to walk down that aisle, or we can leave." She said, "Dad, let's leave." I said, no. And just like the young men that I had the privilege of sitting down with last night, we don't run from anything. We will not run from any opponent. We're going to be ready. We're going to be prepared. We're going to be confident. Right, Hosanna? Yeah. So doesn't matter the league, right? We're not backing down from anyone. The time is here and the time is now. I have a bunch of family and friends here. What Brian did not mention, when I first took the job at University of Houston, I thought I was going to work for one head coach. What he did not mention about my lovely wife here and my lovely mom is I have 3 head coaches, right? So, and Coach Sampson is the last. First one is my mom, second Leah, and then the third is Coach Sampson. You know, I thought after I leave the office at the University of Houston at the practice facility after working so hard, you know, I say, okay, I hop in the car, get home and maybe take a breather and then get right back to recruiting, scouting, whole 9 yards. Well, little did I know, as soon as I walked through the door, my wife is there greeting me, talking about practice and who we playing next. And I said, thought I just left Coach Sampson. But no. I would be remiss as well. Coach Bob Mullen did a fantastic job here, an outstanding job. And under the circumstances, Derek Zimmerman, he's done a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. I was talking to these guys about how hard it is to win on the road. Right, B. Hardy? Really hard to win on the road. The team that made it to the conference championship and is playing in the NCAA tournament, you guys won on the road at Troy, won on the road at Texas State. I believe you won 8 conference games. That's not easy to do. It's hard to win games, right? So my hat's off to Coach Zimmerman. My hat's off to Coach Bob Mullen. But this is a great moment, and first and foremost, I want to thank God, because without Him, I wouldn't be up here today. All of this, that's it. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Without him, all the success that I've had as a player and everything in life would not have happened. So thank God. I also want to thank Dr. Joseph Savvo, who I've had the privilege of talking with and meeting, Athletic Director Dr. Brian Maggart, for believing in me and entrusting me with this fine program. Your confidence means everything, and I don't take it for granted. So thank you. I may have only known Brian for a short time, as he stated when we were talking in here. His work ethic is very similar to mine, and it's what attracted me to this great university. His passion for the university is undeniable, same as Dr. Savvo. His commitment to excellence is exactly what makes this partnership, right, exciting, and I'm honored to be a part of it. It's not about, I tell our recruits this in the recruit family, right? It's not about the name of a school. What makes the school so special is the people, all of these people in here. That's why the University of Louisiana is a great institution, is because of all these people that are in here. I had an outstanding meeting before this press conference with our support staff. I can't thank them enough, and I'll get the names going in due time. But, but it's the people that makes this institution what it is, the leadership, right? That's what makes this place special. This men's basketball program is going to take new heights, and it's going to be because myself at the helm, but my staff that I'm going to assemble. The people is what makes this place special. This people is why we'll win championships. The people is why we'll get to a Final Four. Like, I have my point guard here who has taken University of Houston. He's the only point guard to take Houston to a Final Four in Dejon Giroux. So I appreciate driving all the way down here. I also want to recognize and thank Mr. Brian Hanks. Thank you. Chairman of the UL Lafayette Foundation Board, Dr. Cindy Cobb, chairwoman of the Ragin Cajuns Athletic Foundation, and the entire RCAF Foundation. Mr. Mark Romero, chairman of the UL System Board. Athletic Director, Deputy AD Trey Frazier, and Jessica Leger. I hope I pronounced that right. That's a beautiful last name. But again, it's about the people, and that's why I'm glad to accept this grand opportunity. And to our rebounder members and season ticket holders, thank you in advance for your continued support, your energy, and commitment to this program. And I'm looking forward. It's invaluable. We need all of you. We need the city of Lafayette. We need the city of Baton Rouge. I was talking to a lot of our fans in Houston. We need them too to come down and support. We need to fill the Cajun Dome. We need to get it back to where it can be. I'm a why not guy, right? Hosanna talked about that to the team last night. Why can't it happen? You know, I believe in my abilities. I believe in my staff. I believe in our players. I've been blessed with amazing opportunities in this game of basketball. And I would like to think that I've taken full advantage of it. And this opportunity is no different. I will take full advantage of it. You have my word. I've played, I've coached, and I've learned from some of the best in the game. And I'll be remiss without mentioning Coach Calvin Sampson, who's a Hall of Fame coach and a second dad to me. But today is not about where I've been, it's about where we're going. I am a visionary, and I have big-time vision for the University of Louisiana men's basketball program. And let me tell you right now, I need your support. We need your support. You can't do this alone. We're going to work really hard. We're going to work, we're going to compete, we're going to win. To the fans, alumni, and the entire Ragin Cajun family, this program belongs to you, and I mean that with all sincerity. Your energy, your passion, and your pride makes this place special. Remember, it's about the people. Winning is our standard. Success is our standard. Banners are our standard. I can't tell you how many times that I walk in the Guy V. Lewis Development Center, and before I get to working out with our guards who I'm in charge of at the University of Houston, I look up at those banners, and I envision doing the same thing here, and it will happen. So I hope y'all are ready, because the Cajun Dome is about to be rocking. Let's fill this dome every night. I need every student organization, every local basketball program, the alumni, and every single fan in our community in your seats to make this place the toughest place to play in the country. So let me be clear. This team will be built on toughness, discipline, and accountability, right? And there's levels to accountability. It's an everyday thing, not a sometimey thing. We're going to defend on the floor, we're going to rebound, and we're going to compete. We're going to play an exciting, high-energy, relentless brand of basketball that makes you proud to be a Ragin Cajun. Teams will remember for sure when they come to play us. But it's not just about what we do on the court. And I explained that to our players last night. I'm going to have another meeting with those guys shortly after this. It's not about just what you do on the court. We're going to develop young men who win in life, who win in the classroom. We will emphasize character, academics, and the responsibility of representing this university the right way. And we will be consistent in doing that. Because championships are not just won with talent, they're won with culture, leadership, and a team-first mentality. And let me tell you right now, the culture started last night, right, Hosanna? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I know we'll talk more about this, but recruiting is it's an everyday thing. Recruiting is the lifeblood of any program. And let me tell you, I love it. I love building relationships. Everyone sitting on this front row. Probably my best recruiting job is this beautiful young lady right here. So that should tell you a little bit, right? But I believe, humbly speaking, I'm the best at it. And I think you have to believe in yourself before you can achieve anything. We're going to bring players in who fit our culture, players who embrace the grind, players who want to compete and put Louisiana on the national stage. I don't just want to be good in the Sun Belt Conference. I told Brian a couple weeks ago, you know, I don't look at this opportunity no different than what we've accomplished at Houston. Again, I'm a why not person. Why can't this program be one of the best in the country? So that's why I'm here. That's why I took this opportunity. And for the homegrown talent here in this state, y'all already know there's nothing like playing for the pride of Louisiana. I'm Louisiana born and raised, so this is personal for me. It's special to come back home, pour into Louisiana, and win. I tell our recruits this, I tell the guys that I coach at Houston, I believe in how you do anything should be how you do everything. How you all perform in the classroom is going to be no different than how you perform on the floor. I think you have to do everything the right way and be consistent at what you do. But this is not just a job for me. It's a family decision. And my family is just as excited as I am to be here. We're looking forward to coming back to Louisiana and are ready to immerse ourselves in the amazing Lafayette community. We're looking forward to getting to know the fans, the students, the alumni, and all the great people that makes this place special. So don't be surprised if you see us at Old Time Grocery, whiskey and wine. You know, I think Old Time Grocery is my wife's favorite place, right? But we are all in on being a part of this university and this city. Now, I can stand up here all night and say all the right things, but I'm about results. The end result is what matters the most to me. So trust me, I've already gotten started. We've already been taking time every single day, me and some of my staff, which I'll talk about at a later date, in recruiting. We may have a commitment today. We've had one about a week ago. So, and we plan on having more coming in the next couple weeks. So we've already started working. But we're going to build something special, and we're going to do it together. I need you. I need the Cajun energy. I need this arena packed. I need this place to be the loudest, most intimidating home court in the country. Because when we do it together, we're just not talking about winning games. We're talking about being Final Four bound. I'm honored to be here, and I'm ready to get to work, and I promise you, we're going to make Louisiana proud. Go Cajuns.
All righty then. Once again, for those of you in the media, we're going to meet down there in just a second. We still have some food if you haven't had anything to eat yet. Now, there were some cookies earlier over there. They're not Dr. Leger cookies, and they're not Carrie Maggard cookies, but they still looked pretty good. Oh, by the way, Dr. Leger, happy birthday. Look, that concludes our program. I'm so excited that so many of you are here. This is going to be a fun ride. Go Cajuns, thanks for being here.